This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, baby. That's all I have. It's a good way to start the show, just saying, yeah, baby, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's better than just like a good morning.
Hey, bitches. I mean, like that. That's B-I-C-H, by the way. It's a whole different word. It's a different word than what you think it is. There's a lot going on in the world today. I did make a decision, by the way, and I'm much happier about this because I love my wife dearly. I love our children. I love our grandchildren. I have decided I have no interest in even watching or taking part in any politics whatsoever, because I find that just like everybody else, all it does is piss me off. You know, I went for a walk in this building because it was a little too chilly outside. I got here like an hour ago. So it was like 52 degrees or something. I don't know what it was, but with a little wind going, it's like, it's, I don't want to walk out here. So I walked in the building. While walking through the building, and it's not just this building, it's where the world is right now because of all the political bullshit that's happening. I walked by, I kept count, 12 people. The 12 people, 3 of them made eye contact, and one of them said, "Good morning." People are very crabby right now. Do you think it is the political environment of this country right now? It's pissing everybody off so much.
Yeah, that's probably got something to do with it. Other things could be if maybe not a lot of people are morning people too. Coming in here, start their day. They're like, I just got to get in here. It's Friday. My mind is already, I'm on the lake with, a White Claw in hand and barbecue on my plate. So who knows? But
don't make excuses for people.
But politics, yes, I would say definitely do get because you never know now when you say hi to somebody where like, or how is your day going, and then they just unload on you, and you're like, I should have just not said anything.
Yeah, it may be I'm the curmudgeon because I had an interaction like that today. I walked in, I held the door for a gentleman. He said thanks. I said no problem. In my personal opinion, that should be the end of the conversation. But then we both hopped in the elevator. He goes, "It's a good thing it's Friday, huh?" Yeah,
well, he's just trying to be nice.
I'm replying to emails. I'm looking at other stuff. I'm trying to catch up on the morning.
So it's all about you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all about you. Okay, we understand that.
I'm glad we finally got to the main point. Yes, it is all about me.
No, I literally have decided that I have no interest in politics whatsoever. They make me miserable when I do listen to them or read about them or do whatever. People, I think, might be in the worst mood they've ever been in, other than, major disasters. But look, I am not fond of either or any candidates, not just either candidates, any candidates. I don't care. But part of that, I think, is my generation. I'm handing it off to you guys and you people, you men and women, because I'm of an age now where I've, attained all the things I wanted to, or most of the things I wanted to. I just can't let this stuff make me angry. Because it was pissing me off. This guy did that, and this woman did that, and this other guy is a creep, and this other one's a draft dodger, and this. I don't care. I really don't. Because you're going to pick somebody to run this country who's probably not qualified to run this country. Do you think that might be true?
In terms of like who's qualified and everything like that, and the narratives, it's just like, I think people are a little too eager to try to find the Achilles heel of everyone.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And I get it. Like that's what politics has turned into in terms of like finding the one thing to just attack. But also it seems like sometimes there's just not anything to attack. So there's stuff that is like you're pulling a heel out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
just like, well, he wears a lot of flannel shirts.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
He must be a little too comfortable. And I don't want a comfortable person. I want somebody who's on their toes, who's ready to bet. Like, come on. Like you can spin anything in a negative light. Like, can we just attack like policy rather than personal stuff?
Yep. And they attack every little thing. Like if you mispronounce one word, it's well, is this the sign of his mental health stumbling down? And is he ever it's like, okay, he got his words mixed up. It's going to be okay. We'll be fine.
So here's the deal. I am not going to let this stuff affect me anymore. I just don't. I have no interest in it. I can do nothing about it. And everybody think, well, I've got the one vote, which is going to have a little effect. I mean, minuscule effect on anything, obviously. I will vote in the presidential election, but I don't know who I'm going to vote for yet. There's got to be somebody, I guess, but I'm just not wild about the way the world is right now. And it's the entire world. They're thinking about civil war in England. The entire Eastern Hemisphere is a complete disaster. I talked to a friend of mine I told you yesterday from Canada. He's all upset about the way Canada's moving. The United States, everybody's bitching at everybody. I've had enough of it. I'm stepping aside. I'm of the generation where I'm handing it off to you guys. You set up the future because, my future is shorter than yours. Unless, of course, you guys smoke and drink like madmen, which then you'll be dead by tomorrow.
We're going joyriding this weekend. Who knows what happens?
There you go. Exactly. But I literally have, and I do blame a lot of it on the news media. The news media lies much more than anybody else I've ever seen. You lie constantly. Why? So you get more viewers or listeners, so you make more money. You lie for money and don't try to deny it. That's what you do, right? So look, I like I said, I love my wife dearly, our children, our grandchildren, my friends, some of my coworkers, not all of them.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm. But I don't want it affecting my life anymore. I've been through this now for 72 years, and I don't want any part of it anymore. It's really none of my business at this point, as long as you don't, pass laws where anyone over 65 gets executed. I wouldn't be, wild about that.
See, I was planning to bring that to the floor next Congress session. So you still got a little time.
Just AJ filibustering, trying to get it through. Yeah.
But I swear to God, I am happier today than I've been in a long time because I'm not listening to any of it. I'm not watching any of it. The number one thing, I will close with this, the number one thing about this that drove me crazy and pissed me off and put me in a bad mood, you have to understand, when I attack you, I'm attacking you, your mother, your father, your wife, your husband, your kids. They all get affected by you trying to harm me. And that's what used to piss me off to no end. It's like, would you stop and leave everybody else out of this? Stop lying. All that stuff they said about me in the press and all that. It's all bullshit, and they knew it was bullshit. But the other part of that is nobody on the other side stood up and defended me. So they're as big a piece of shit as the people who wrote the article, correct? You've known me long enough. Do you think I would stand by and watch somebody besmirch either one of you and let it go? Unless it was true, of course.
Probably not. No.
No, I am not going to allow that. Don't do that bullshit around me. So I'm handing it off to you guys. And here's a perfect example why I'm handing it off to you guys. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Fire.
I just looked down at a headline.
Okay.
I don't even want to read the story. I like Jamie Lee Curtis. There's
the actress, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What is it? Halloween and Halloween 2020 or
yeah,
all the Halloweens.
Yeah, all the
Halloweens.
Freaky Friday.
Yep.
Remember that?
I liked her. Jamie Lee Curtis must need some attention. Has she not worked in a while?
Does she have a new movie coming out?
Does she have a new movie coming out? It's a good question.
Let's see.
Because, I'm going to find out she got a new movie coming out first, and then I'll read what it says. Did you see what it says?
No. But
okay, here we go.
Let's see here.
Are people going to get weird about me being a happy Tom all the time? Because this really puts me in a good mood, not having to think about that crap. I'm in a very good mood now. Except for the 11 people out of 12 that didn't say hello to me this morning. Don't look at me if you're not going to say hello. Yeah, pill.
It appears she's in the new Borderlands film that's releasing that, to my knowledge, has like a 0 or 4% score on Rotten, 7% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Yeah, Borderlands
7%.
Yeah,
it looks like, is Kevin Hart in this movie?
He is.
Okay, so yeah, she's got, like I just said, Borderlands movie coming out.
So 7% out of 100.
Yeah, so
7%.
But that just means like whether it's a fresh idea or not. This is a video game adaptation, and those usually don't pan out well.
Well, here's the headline. You ready?
Fire away.
Jamie Lee Curtis has asked all crew members on set to wear name tags to promote equality. How does that promote equality? Isn't it my job to get to know AJ and to get to know you all those years ago? Mm-hmm. That's my job. Not how do I promote equality by you having a name tag?
Well, although I would argue that on set, if there's 100 people working on set and everybody's got name tags on, I'm more likely to remember and learn everybody's names faster. Otherwise, we could film this for 6 months, and I'm probably still not going to.
Otherwise, it's just green shirt guy.
Yeah.
Can you give me my coffee?
Okay, that's on both of you guys then. So you literally would want to wear name tags. Okay, well, you both start wearing name tags then.
Yeah, like
I've decided on this show that you two will wear name tags every day and see how much.
That's why we put the names in the little box on the YouTube.
That's
video.
That's our name tags.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's for people who watch the video, not for us. I'm almost positive about that. You pills. Well, listen, Bill.
I'll tell you what. I think the explanation or the justification for equality is a little
yes,
just to create a bond, just to strengthen like the workplace, just knowing somebody interacting. Like,
I understand.
Hey, John, you can say John's name instead of getting done with the conversation, being like, hey, what was that guy's name?
Yep. Yeah. That's what. Yeah. Don't brand it as we're all equals now because we all have name tags.
Well,
just say, hi, my name is Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm 65 and I don't remember names like I used to. So we're all wearing name tags.
Yeah.
But it says to promote equality. She's trying to help the universe here, Kevin.
Well, that's
that is a reach that I will agree with. But I'm fine with people wearing in a big space like that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But don't try to claim it's because of equality. No. Okay, then I should be paid as much as you are, Jamie Lee. If you want true equality.
I'm on board with that as well.
Yeah. If you want equality, then I should make as much as you do. Right?
Yeah.
So shut your cake hole, sister. How about that action? That work?
I think so.
I'm hoping. That's all I have to say. Oh, my God. We thought of this years ago, and we never did do it. But I just saw this pop up. You remember that song, With Eyes Wide Open?
Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Creed. Good song. Really good song. Well, they've released a song now, My Fly's Wide Open. We thought of that like 20 years ago. Never did it on the queue. But I guess we should have because now there is My Fly. I thought it was too silly to do it. Don't you think that's a bit too silly?
Yeah, it sounds like Weird Al Yankovic is making a comeback.
Weird Al Yankovic, when he got popular, boy, did he change.
Did he?
All of a sudden, he had this edge to him. I'm like, what? You're weird. You got an edge now, do you, Weird Al? Settle down, you pill. Nice hairstyle, too, by the way. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, he's...
The salons were thriving.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Ooh, we got to get moving here. But in any case, so you guys do understand that, don't you? That I'm at a time in my life, I really don't have that big a voice in politics anymore. So I'm just not going to deal with it. I will vote, but I'm not going to tell anybody who I voted for because it's none of their damn business. And I just think the lying that goes on nonstop now is driving me nuts. So I'm just not going to pay a lot of attention to it. That's fair, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fair.
See, I just proved my point right there. That's all I'm saying.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, South Dakota is one of the most business-friendly states in the country, and there's no better place to settle down and take advantage of those incentives than in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. As the state's largest city with a metro population over 290,000, Sioux Falls has low business costs with a high quality of life. That's what I'm looking for, the high quality of life. There's no state, corporate, or personal income tax, no inheritance tax, and no limit to what your business can achieve. Sioux Falls, South Dakota was recently ranked #1 best small market city for business and careers by Forbes, the #2 best state business tax climate by the Tax Foundation, and the #5 top state for e-commerce by Nexus. Or is it Nexus?
No, Nexus.
It is Nexus. It's spelled Nexcess, though. So I don't know what that would be, but I'll say Nexus.
Okay.
As one of the Midwest fastest growing cities, Sioux Falls has a robust job market, no matter where you're at in your career. We have an opportunity waiting for you, which is nice to hear. Our city's tax-friendly climate and strong workforce don't go unrecognized. Forbes named Sioux Falls one of the top small cities for business and careers each of the last 15 years, which is good news. 2020, Sioux Falls also ranked as the #4 best city for young professionals, like you two. Can I call you professionals, though? Is that a good idea?
Semi-professionals, maybe.
Okay, there you go. How does South Dakota stack up against other states? We rank second in the nation for the lowest cost of doing business, the most business-friendly state, and the best business tax climate. And as South Dakota's biggest city, Sioux Falls is at the center of these benefits. Now is the perfect time to make your move to Sioux Falls. Visit SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
You know, I called Jim Paul yesterday. That pill never called me back. I'm coming for you, Jim. That's all I'm saying.
Busy day at the dealership. I don't blame him.
Busy day in the newsroom. Did you ever hear that story? I'll
No.
tell you later in the show.
Okay.
Or I could tell it now and just tell Bilski, sorry, I didn't read your commercial.
No, we got to take care of bills.
We got Bilski. Let's take a second to talk about my bank. That would be North American Banking Company, a Bilski, as I said. You've heard me talk about them for a long time now. When they opened in 1998, they made a promise to deliver a better banking experience for their customers, where you know your banker, they know you. Well, a lot has changed since 1998. This commitment to being a true community bank of the Twin Cities has not. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Go to nabanco.com to stop by. You can just stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Bilski and Jim Paul together. It's on shoulder to shoulder. That's all I'm saying. You pills. Speaking of pill or Phil Mackey now joins us, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Forgot my name tag here. I was hoping to.
That's up there on the screen anyway. So, you know,
that's true. Yeah,
You
my
look like
full
that.
name is up on the screen. You guys all have just your first names there. Awfully presumptive. The people would know that your last name is Barnard.
Oh, there you go. That's funny. I've never heard that one before. Bill McKee.
You can hit me with the MACKEYMOUSE.
Philly Mac.
Yeah.
I love Mickey Mouse. To this day, I love Mickey Mouse.
Really?
I've been to the Disney World and Disney. I've never been to Disneyland, but I've been to Disney World. Never been to any other ones in Europe or Japan or any of that stuff. But I do love Disney World. Love it.
Disneyland, been there a couple times. I feel like Disneyland, a little more adult centric.
That's
Just
what I
some fun
understand.
little adult areas. You know, you're in LA, kind of, not really. Orange County, I guess.
Although one thing I do love about going there very quickly, and I'm sorry for interrupting you here, but you go into the Stein House or the Brew House. I don't know what the hell it's called.
Yeah.
Disney World. You get a beer that's in about a 3-quart glass. Like,
Yeah.
my God. I don't know what the hell that's all
A
about.
bunch of adults stumbling around, hoping their kids don't get swooped up by. By the way, on Fridays on Purple Daily, we do snake drafts where we will draft various lists. Who are your what are your top 3 favorite cartoon characters? So Mickey Mouse, would Mickey Mouse be your number 1 draft pick?
Yeah, Donald Duck too, because he's always in a horseshit mood, which I love about Donald Duck. So Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and I don't know, Bugs Bunny. Probably Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and Bugs Bunny.
Yeah,
They all got
Bugs Bunny.
attitudes.
Great pitcher too, Bugs Bunny. You know, he had that change up. He could really pull the string.
Nice jump shot,
Not at all.
help beat the Monstars. So
That's
can't-
true.
can't
Yeah,
complain.
Space Jam.
He's
Yeah,
like Pablo Sanchez of the cartoon world.
Great reference.
Oh, here
Just-
we go.
Just best athlete. of all time.
Backyard baseball, backyard football at its finest. There you go, AJ.
Honest to God, Phil. Before the show started, I told them both to shut up, and look what I get.
look what happens. Now
Look
you're
at
just you're just now you're antagonizing them to speak more, to
Yes.
to do more. Yeah.
No question. So, no game yesterday for the Twins, correct?
But the biggest series of the entire season starts today. 1:00 doubleheader at Target Field today against the
Let's go.
Guardians.
Yeah, this is a huge series, no question about it. How are you looking at this one?
Well, it's Carlos Correa is still out. with the foot injury, so their best overall player isn't going to play.
Right.
And Joe Ryan wasn't. I guess he may have pitched on Sunday in this series, but Joe Ryan, who's been probably their best or second best starting pitcher, he's getting an MRI or had one yesterday on his triceps area, so he might be out for a while. So they got these injury bugs popping up here at the wrong time. But at the same time, they're only like 3 games back, 3.5 back of the Guardians here going into the weekend.
Damn.
So with a good weekend, they could take first place in the American League Central. They could also have the best record in the American League period.
Really?
Maybe even in all of baseball. Like it's all so condensed right now. There's really no runaway team. The Twins are a few games away from being the best team in baseball, but they're also a few games away from being out of the playoff picture altogether. So it's crazy right now.
It is. No question about it. And your take on that, which way are you leaning?
Man, I mean, if Joe Ryan's going to be out for a month and a half, this is where they had to make a trade at the deadline for some pitching depth. I know that there's only like 5 teams truly selling, so it was much more of a seller's market, and the Twins decided to draw a line when it came to the prices. But now you're sort of cobbling together a number 4 and number 5 start. You're relying on a couple rookies and you're not relying on rookies in June. You're relying on rookies who are at the top of their innings workload of their careers in August and September. But this lineup, quite frankly, is one of the 5 or 6 best in baseball. So you might not need great starting pitching to get to the playoffs. Just score 7 runs, 8 runs in a game. So I still think they make the playoffs. But if Joe Ryan's out, it definitely changes the dynamic going in.
And he may be out for the rest of the season, right? Because there's only, 7 weeks left in the season anyway, or 8 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, I think we're going to find out more this morning, sometime in a couple hours. The Twins, Rocco Baldelli will talk to the media. Yeah. We might get like an MRI result. I would say he could be back in a couple weeks, or he could be out for the season, and we don't know yet. Yeah.
I have a question for you on this. Why did they construct this whole idea of the trade deadline? But if somebody gets hurt after the trade deadline, you should still be allowed to trade for someone because it leaves you at a deficit.
Yeah, they used to have. This is where baseball is so confusing in so many ways, especially for casual fans trying to follow. So there's the July 31st trade deadline traditionally. And then for a long time, they used to have what was a waiver trade deadline on August 31st as kind of a second chance to go get another player. And so they got rid of that. You can still claim players off waivers. Like, let's say your team sucks. Let's say you are the White Sox or the Angels or somebody. This happened last year, actually. And you got some expensive players who maybe you just don't feel like paying anymore. You could put those players on waivers in August, and another team could claim them and pick up the tab. So that would be a possibility.
Right.
Otherwise, yeah, you're pretty much just hoping for internal options or players who've never played in the major leagues to step up from the minors and save you. Yeah.
What was the idea of having a trade deadline anyway? How is it your business when we want to trade for somebody?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Like, what if there was no deadline?
Right.
And you could just, like, if you wanted to make a trade on September 20th with 10 days before the playoffs, it's all, it's a supply and demand game. It's a free market. If I'm desperate and I call you up, wouldn't that, because there's some teams that think they're in contention on July 31st, but then you give it a month or a month and a half and those teams fade out, and they would probably love to trade some players in the middle of September. We should try that for a couple of years. I like that idea.
No, it's true, because it puts the Twins, and it's not just because it's the Twins, it's any baseball team. You didn't see these injuries coming. If you didn't have to worry about that, then I understand why you don't trade for anybody. But the fact that they should have worried about this and didn't leaves the fans in a big hole. It shouldn't. I just don't understand. You should be able to trade for somebody the last day of the season. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, if another team is willing, and it makes sense. Yeah, I think you also have to have whatever your playoff roster is going to be in October. Those players have to be on your team, I think, by September 1st. Like, you have to. Yeah. You can't, with the current rules, you can't, but I don't really understand what that rule is for too.
I don't either.
If we got rid of all these rules, if I wanted to, but Then you might have like a series of dump trades at the very end of the year where I think that's what baseball's trying to guard against is, we fell out of the race with a week to go and now we're just going to unload all these players to another team who's going to have a super team going into the playoffs. I mean,
we're in a situation where once again, broadcasting has shown people the way. You had radio stations where all these rules, now you have podcasting where I can tell you to go F yourself. See, look how far ahead of the world podcasting really is.
It's great. Yeah, you can pretty much say and do whatever the hell you want on a podcast.
Exactly. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's one of those deals.
All these restrictions. FCC.
I have not heard a lot of good things about people's hopes for the Vikings either. That's the other thing I'm picking up on. Apparently, a lot of people don't think that team's very good.
Well, it's a transition year, Tom. It's a transition year.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. This was sort of by design where they knew they were moving off an established quarterback in Kirk Cousins, but I would argue, Cousins is safe in that if he's healthy, you're not going to be a train wreck, but you're not winning a Super Bowl with him as one of the highest paid quarterbacks. So moving off of him was the right decision, but you're not going to immediately draft somebody that's going to step in and be a top 10 quarterback. So
right.
I think the national media is underestimating what the Vikings can do this year. I think their defense is going to be top half of the league. I think their running game is going to get better. I think they've got great weapons with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Aaron Jones, by the way, the Packers' former running back, one of the top 10 running backs in the NFL. The Vikings grabbed him in free agency back in March to replace one of the worst starting running backs in the league, Alexander Mattison. I think they're better than they were last year. They're not better at quarterback.
Right.
But they're better overall as a team. And I think there's a pretty good chance they could flirt with a playoff spot. I think people are underestimating the Vikings, Tom.
So 3:00 tomorrow on Fox, is that right?
Is it on Fox? I really haven't.
Yeah.
Fox sounds right.
Yep.
Sure.
I think it is. So it is 3:00 tomorrow.
Yes. Are you going to be there?
No.
You show up to US Bank Stadium and your
I can't
face
go
paint?
to games anymore. I just can't. Yeah, face paint, no question.
Your Helga horns?
You're not blowing out the Gallahorn or whatever it's
No,
called?
I'm not doing that either. No question. No, I love watching games on television. I used to love to go to every single Twins game I could possibly go to. Vikings, same situation. But I'm at the point now, I kind of like sitting in the living room watching it on television. That works for me.
What if the Twins get back to the World Series? Would you go to a World Series game?
I probably would. Yes, I probably would do. The last one I went to was with my nephew, and we had a really good time. The Twins obviously won the World Series. Both times, didn't they win it in the 7th game at home?
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah, that's what I remembered. And it's a very, very special moment. He hasn't talked to me since, but other than that,
though,
it all worked out in the end. So I got to tell you guys, because I know you got to get going in a couple of minutes here, but I wanted to bring this up to everybody I talked to this morning. I went to the kind of opening day for the Renaissance Festival yesterday.
Okay.
And it was packed with, well, I saw Dez and Crisco were there having a ball. A lot of really, really good people. But, I get along with I did something to Dez, though, yesterday I probably shouldn't have done.
Oh, no, Tom.
He arrives, and she's talking to Crisco, right? And Crisco is just a great guy. You guys know him?
Yeah, Crisco and I went to Monday Night Raw together.
Oh, my God.
When WWE was in town. It's great.
Great guy. And Dez, I think the world of Dez. She's just a sweetheart. So I see her, but she doesn't see me. So I go over. Have you ever seen the turkey legs at the Renaissance Festival?
Yeah, they're massive. They're great.
Huge. They're delicious too, by the way. But so I sneak up behind Dez and I slowly put the turkey leg about 2 inches from her nose. She's like, oh my God. I know she thought it was a club or something, I guess. But she turns around, goes, "Oh God, I didn't even know you were here." Gives me a big hug. It was just what a sweetheart she is too. They're.
I can just see Tom rolling around the Renaissance Festival with two double fisting turkey legs and sneaking up behind people.
But the people who, by the way, the woman there, I don't know if she wants me to say her name or not because she's a big shot there. And well, Jim Peterson owns it, that. So I'll just, but I don't know. I didn't get the okay to use her name, but she's just this really, really nice person. Big fan of you and Sue Sheree and this show. And it just, I had, by the way, a lot of that coming up lately. that apparently now, you guys have been at it a lot longer than I have, and we have here. But people do love Sush and you guys and this show. It's like the trifecta for them now, I guess, which is nice to hear.
I just think, we can have a deeper dive on this some other time, but I think it's cool that you can just build shows not beholden to radio stations anymore.
Right.
Like if you want to build a podcast, and it's great to have the infrastructure that we have with Hubbard too, but you can build content beyond like the traditional linear format of a radio or TV station now, and people will find it, and it's fun, man.
Yep, no question about it. But I just wanted to say a lot of nice words said about, even the two guys here, they said nice things about these two. So they're that much into it. Think about it.
Crazy, man. Yeah.
Either that or drunk. One of the two.
Well, they might have been drunk too.
Yeah, a couple too many of the King's Ales or something.
Okay, Phil, I'll close with this because I know you got to go. They have a new thing at the Renaissance Festival, and Crisco talked me into trying it. He said, I'm telling you, it's great. And I said, not okay, I'll tell you what it is, and then you give me your response, and I'll tell you what I thought of it. Okay, you ready?
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Pepperoni pizza with caramel sprinkled on top of it.
Caramels?
On a pepperoni pizza.
That's an example of, I love both of those things.
Yes.
I love pepperoni pizza and I love caramel.
Yep.
I don't know if I need both together is my first instinct, but somebody clearly tested it, and if people hated it, they wouldn't be selling it, obviously. So it's probably pretty good.
Okay.
Well, this maybe I'm weird, but I like putting. Yeah, right. I like putting like hot honey.
I was just gonna say.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
There you go.
This intrigues me. I don't think I'd ever consider like out of the gate, like on my own doing caramel, but
no,
maybe if the
doing caramel, you talk about caramel like it's a hardcore drug.
Well, it kind of is.
Have you ever considered doing caramel?
The fancy part we do caramel.
Caramel, yeah.
Caramel,
yeah.
Okay,
no, I'm on board with AJ. Like the first thing I thought of was Rectangle Pizza has a hot honey pepperoni pizza, and that was the first thing I thought of, which is delicious. So I would give this a try.
You would, okay? Because I got to tell you, I did try it.
Oh,
and I thought, well, again, Crisco's a lot bigger than me, so what am I going to do? Tell him to get lost?
Right.
Probably beat me up. So I couldn't do that. But no, Crisco's just a great guy. So I said, yeah, if Crisco likes it, give me. It was delicious. It was, what the best part of it is? When it's on the crust of the pizza. So they put it on the pepperoni as well. But the caramel on the crust makes the crust worth eating. I'll tell you that.
I thought Tom was going to say the best part of it was licking the residue off Crisco's fingers.
Yes, it was a real thrill to do that too. There's no question. Do you know those guys? I'm sorry to keep you so long, but those guys are at the state fair every day, but two of them.
Yeah. Oh, it's wild.
Oh my God.
We can one up them now, and we could just go every day.
Or once. We could do that too.
Man, Tom, we used to do that. Man, Judd and I,
did you really?
4-hour radio show every single day except for two.
Except for two, yeah. That's what they're going to do. I don't know if they're even going to do a show. They're just going to be there or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's great because we felt great at the time. We were sort of the intro to the intro act for Joe Suchere's show, which is the Real State Fair show. So we'd be there for 4 hours. There might be a few people hanging out with us. This is 10 years ago. But then I would say 80% of people that would walk up and try to interact, we'd be like, oh, it's a fan of the show. And they would just be asking, where's Suchere? When's Joe Suchere going to be here? Like, right, thanks. He'll be here. Just look at the gigantic sign right out in front of the time.
Well, he's been there for how many years? He's been there for over 40 years.
Well, we have Monday Night Sports Talk, early 80s. And then his full-time Garage Logic show started in, 93? 92, 93?
I would say 82 maybe was the first year of that show. Then I think it was 82, wasn't it?
Monday Night Sports Talk, yeah.
Monday Night Sports Talk. There you go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I really wish I had that because I was ripping Joe a little bit, more making fun of him than anything in like 1986 or 87. I guess there was a show when he went after me like there's no tomorrow. I wish I had it because Joe and I are friends now.
Yeah.
But I just wish I had. Maybe I could ask him for it. Send it over.
I bet you they have a lot of tapes, man.
Oh God, they got a lot of taste. But yeah, we got to get him on the show. I told him we'd have him on the show now, and that's what is that, a year and a half ago, for Christ's sake. So we got to get that done. But Phil, I'm sorry for keeping you so long, but there was a lot to talk about with you today.
Listen, talking about waving turkey legs in people's faces and doing caramel.
Caramel.
Yeah.
Caramel.
Oh,
Remember?
caramel.
Caramel. Sorry, yeah.
All right, Pally, we'll talk to you on Monday.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, SKOR North, Phil Mackey, and of course, Judd, no question. And there's Josh Arnold, too. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours, too. I have to say that, and he's coming in to do the family show today. I have to call him an expert on his way in.
But you don't have to say it to his face.
That's true. He's kind of expert-y. Can I say it that way? Never mind.
Jury's still out.
Okay. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market, the economy. He knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results, and all investments are at risk, of course. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold's do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they taught you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you talk to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank our listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM. And you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets, only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses, mattress toppers, 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything's on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146 or go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings 8 to 9:30 or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app, at tombernardshow.com, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. Chris, do you go out to the Renaissance Festival ever?
I have not been to the Renaissance Festival since about 4th grade.
The reason I asked you that is because I have one of the same stories. You know, it's been around for like 40, 50 years, something like that?
Well, it's at least 40 because I haven't been there since 4th grade. So that's
so there you go. But it did come up to me. Jim Peterson owns the thing. Just a great guy. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
But we had a nice little talk. And then somebody else brought up the fact that all those, and I think, I wish would you look up and see how long the Renaissance Festival has been around in the state of Minnesota? Because somebody told me it's going on 50 years now.
I would believe that.
Yeah, me too. And here's why. Because the first time I ever went to the Renaissance Festival, and I'll give the full story when Tevin comes up with the answer. You got it yet?
Let's see here.
Is it all over the board? Is that the plan?
1971.
It'll be the
September 11th, 1971.
It'll be the 53rd year this year.
53rd year. Okay, so 1971, you said.
Yep.
So it was probably the first year then of the Renaissance Festival that we, and by we I mean a bunch of friends and me from North Minneapolis went to the Renaissance Festival.
Did you boys go out there and do it up, right?
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I think I was allowed back into the Renaissance Festival this year after 53 years because my friends started a fist fight.
Listen,
at the Renaissance Festival. Why would you do that?
There's alcohol, there's turkey,
there's swords readily available.
There's swords, there's role playing. Like, I think it feels like the perfect place to go and get in a fight.
Yeah, we weren't invited back anytime soon. Let me put it that way. But yeah, I went yesterday. It was wonderful. Had a great time.
That's good. I heard your story about Des and putting the turkey leg in her face.
Snuck up behind her, put the turkey, just slid it right in front of her. He's like, oh! She gave a little howl. It was hilarious. Funny. She's terrific. I love
her husband's a great guy too. I got to know him quite a bit back in the day. So,
yeah, Crisco and Des, doesn't get better than that. They got a new guy on the show too. Who's the new guy on the show?
Wes.
Yeah, there you go. I met Wes.
I only met him a couple times, but he seems like a super nice guy.
No doubt about it. So pretty decent, and I had a great time out there yesterday. You're going to take matter of fact, the entire family, Catherine and I, Andy and Alex and their children. We're all going out to the Renaissance Festival together this year.
Oh my gosh, grandkids will love that. It's perfect for them.
Any big news we should know about that's not negative as hell?
Well, no, but
no.
We were covering this for what felt like months, but it was such an awful wet spring and start to the summer. Down in Waterville, which is southern Minnesota, which kind of one of the areas that got probably hit the hardest. They're opening a FEMA center there today, a recovery center to help people. I mean, there's a lot of people who lost everything down there, so that's good. They'll be able to go there and get some assistance. Closer in town, Fort Snelling State Park is going to reopen today. It had been closed for flooding, so we're starting to see sort of things get a little bit back to normal. That was probably our bigger story today. Yeah, and then Wall's stuff is continuing to, but nothing.
Oh, you mean talking about
particularly new on that?
Well, I made the announcement this morning that I have no interest in politics at all anymore. I'm going to stay completely out of it because I don't care. I don't have a dog in this fight. I am going to vote because I think you should vote if you're an American. Yeah. But I'm not going to tell anybody who I voted for because I don't, no matter who I vote for, I'm not going to be all in with anybody. The all in thing. Look, politics and IT right now is making this country miserable. And I just won't tolerate it. I will not become miserable about who's running for president and who's a loser and who's weak and who's over. I don't care.
I think that's a good policy to have, and I think it'd be very healthy for a lot of other people to adopt that policy.
Just calm down, for God. Yeah. You think those guys actually give a rat's ass about you? Because they don't. They don't care about you at all. So calm down, right?
Calm down. I agree 100%.
Yes, you don't have to add the first part.
Well,
no, I just am in a much better mood today because I don't care. I really don't. One way or the other, we're going to elect a president, and I'm going to have to deal with it no matter who wins. So why would I get upset by that?
I would love for either one of them to tell me I'm going to have a bunch more money in my pocket. You got my vote.
Well, that's what they're trying to do.
You
now.
Lay out a plan and show me how that works and make it very specific and not a bunch of generalities. And you can help me understand that, and I can have more money in my pocket. There's a pretty good chance I'm going to check whatever the box is behind your name. So
my two favorite things, and I think what pushed me over the top, is that guy's weird and stolen valor. Those are the two comments that were made. It's like, okay, I know now at this age, I'm out of the mix. I can't even care.
Well, it's like a bunch of third graders.
Exactly.
Really. And it's, it started out, that day started out with JD Vance calling Tim Walz and leaving him a voicemail doing what is supposed to be the gentlemanly thing to do in a case like this.
Mm-hmm.
He called, congratulated him. It was very respectful. But ever since that moment, it's been like flushed down a toilet bowl ever since then. And it's just been garbage flying every direction. I'm with you. I'm with
You know what's amazing about that? You know what I'm going to do today after the family show? I'm going to go play golf. And I'm going to play golf with Meat Sauce from the K-Fan Morning Show. Shouldn't I be his arch enemy because we're on at the same times or, battling each other? I should hate him, shouldn't I?
Probably.
Although I've known him since he was 16, so it'd be kind of a bitch to hate him at this point because I've known him forever. But he's a dear friend of mine. I love the guy. He's a great guy.
I've never met. We've got a couple of mutual friends, but have
He
not
didn't have
met
any friends other than me. I'm the only friend he's got.
You're a friend to all of us, Tommy.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, indeed. But no, make your life better. Don't get so wound up in who stole valor and who's a weirdo and who's a liar. Like, settle down, all of you.
Ask Paul what his connection is to Ditello's Pizza.
Ditello's okay.
He's got some connection. I don't know what it is. I'm curious. Anyway.
Okay, you got one more minute?
Barely, yes.
Okay, so here I'm going to ask you real quickly. Went to the Renaissance Festival yesterday, had a wonderful time, met a lot of great people. Jim, the owner, is a great guy. I did get the permission to name the young woman who's, promotes the place. She's just a sweetheart, just a really nice person. Crisco came over with a piece of pizza. It's pepperoni pizza with caramel on it. I'm telling you, especially on the crust, the crust in the back where you hold it. You're not in, huh?
Well, listen, I get it. I get the kind of hot honey thing.
Yeah.
To some extent. I'm kind of a purist when it comes to a piece of pepperoni pizza.
I understand.
Like, why mess with perfection? You've already got it.
Yeah.
And then I'm more like, what the hell's that got to do with the Renaissance Festival? It's not like King Arthur was walking around pulling Excalibur out of the rock and it was a mouthful of caramel pepperoni pizza, right?
I talked to King Henry about that because King Henry and I talked a lot when I was there yesterday.
Yeah.
What a great guy he is, by the way.
Which one was it? Isn't there like 8 of them?
Are there 8 of them? I didn't even know that. So there you go.
I'd like to go. It's been a while. It'd be fun to go back out there again.
Yeah, let's get out there. All right. I know you got to go to work, but I'll talk to you on Monday, Pally.
Have a great weekend, you guys.
Thanks a lot. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. So what did you just say? You made some wise ass comment. What was it again?
Something about Bob?
No, yeah, about Bob. No,
something about Sandy.
No, you said you talked to King Henry, and I know.
Oh yeah,
there's like it's
which
like
one of the 8?
Henry the II and the 8th and the 6th, and
there are a lot of King Henry.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Nice guy though. He does not come out of character either. I try to get him to come out of character, and he will not do it.
Does he have like the accents and everything?
Oh, absolutely, most definitely. Yes, well, But, he had no idea who the hell I was. He was just a very pleasant guy. Really, really good.
I really respect the people that do the Renaissance Fair because
you
got to be all in. You got to love it. You got to you got to be in character. They're just having a fun time. Like they're working, but they're having a ball every single day.
No question. And I will tell you, the caramel pepperoni pizza was good. The turkey leg, though, you're going to have to not eat for like a week, though. It's about the size of, you can't really see you see that panel behind AJ, that red panel back there? That's about how big the turkey leg is right there. Like, holy God.
Does it come with a to-go box?
Yes, they have wrapping that you can put it in.
Perfect.
You just go back and get the wrapping.
And then you just throw it on the trailer. Then you can drive home with it because it's not fitting in the car.
It's not going to fit in the car.
And turkey has whatever, like the dripsacine, that makes you sleepy. Right?
Drip. Yeah, I know.
You don't talk about.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
what it's called, but it makes you sleepy. And so you eat that turkey leg, you're taking a nap.
I'm pretty sure it's not semen medicine. What did you just say?
It's something that's a dopadrenalism. I don't know.
Tryptophan.
There we go.
Tryptophan. You were really close then. That was very close. God.
Tryptophan.
Speaking of close, we're close to getting rid of Bob Sansevere, but I suppose he's got to be on. Why couldn't we just slide right past his segment into the next one.
Well, then you got to talk to Tim Lammers.
That's true. Makes it even worse.
Well, I say we go Bob.
Then it's Kristen Burt. I mean, my God, it's just a headache from this point forward. Sanny is up next. I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You guys are right. I have brilliant timing. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Get back just in time, you know.
True professional.
Ladies and gentlemen, BS is the beginning to Bob Sansevere. He's got his Superman t-shirt on there, BS t-shirt.
No, it's the BS show t-shirt. It's Superman stole the logo look.
Could you turn your mic up a little more and talk a little closer into it?
What?
Bob Sansevere.
No, am I too close or too far?
Bill.
You're good.
Too loud?
You're not you. You be too loud. I've never heard of that.
Well, you know, if I'm too not loud enough, it's probably the tryptophan kicked in. It slipped a bit to boot, whatever he called it.
Demonopsis, or whatever he called it.
Bob knows.
Yeah, I know what it is.
What's going on, Sandy?
Now, if you want to talk sports, you got your Twins, the biggest series you could have in the first third of August. 4 games, they're 3.5 back.
Yep.
Joe Ryan won't be pitching. Lopez. I mean, line up your pitching. First of all, Ryan's hurt, but the Lopez thing, you should have figured out a way to get him into this series. You know?
Yeah.
That's not good. But anyway, we'll say, hey, they could be leading the Central Division when this is over, these 4 games, or they could be buried in the Central Division.
7.5 back if they lose all 4.
Yep. Or half game up if they win all 4.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's mathematics. Simple mathematics.
So my guess is they'll be 3.5 out at the end of the series. They'll go 2-2.
2-2 is not the worst thing.
Not at all.
Worst. So
not at all. But
you know, it's better than O's. Well, Cleveland's coming off. They're coming in with 5 straight losses.
Yeah.
And the Twins have a couple. But, I mean, when the teams like Cleveland's lost 5 straight, generally they pull out of it.
Yeah, you're right.
So we'll see how it plays.
Did that surprise you the Cubs pounded the Twins the way they did?
Nothing about the Twins surprises me.
Well,
you really can't. That surprise. Nothing surprises me with them anymore. You
I
just, it's a world gone mad.
It is a world gone mad. There's no question about it.
Look at sports, politics, the whole schmear. How about like this guy? I've been a fan of his. It's Noah Lyles.
Who's that?
He's the guy who won the 100-meter run, and he's very charismatic.
Okay.
He runs yesterday in the 200. His event, finishes third because he had COVID and knew it. Yet he ran anyway.
Really?
I thought he'd have to be quarantined. He wore a mask when he was warming up, but geez, I don't get it.
Yeah, Bob, I guess he tested positive on Tuesday and then had been quarantining the entire time since then. So Tevin and I were talking about this before the show this morning, but how does
I don't
that
know what the rules are for the Olympics though.
That's the thing. I don't know. And I feel like if this was it was 2022 or 2021, I feel like he's banished from the game. So it shows kind of how we've come as a society. But
they're letting men like women, box in the women's final. So both of those guys are women. I mean, XY chromosomes, they're men. One of them's a man for sure. So you got the XY, you're a man.
What'd you make of Lyles's comments about the world champion of what before? This is months back now regarding the NBA.
About the NBA. Who did he go after? He went
after because it was kind of just the NBA in general because they call themselves the world champions.
Oh yeah, because they didn't. That was Phelps. Was it Lyles?
No, it was Lyles because he was like the world champions of what, and then
because they win here. Yeah, now they can be world champions. Yeah.
Yep. So.
Well, because he's he wanted to let everyone know he was a world champion.
So now he's getting dragged on the internet because he only got the bronze, and everybody's just letting him have it.
Kid's got COVID. Give him a break. The fact that he ran as fast as he did with COVID.
All right.
That's pretty impressive to me anyway. I don't know.
Bob, do you have a percentage, Bob, of the chances the Twins could win 4 in a row from Cleveland?
I would say the chance of 1.23.
Okay. There you go.
No, it's not high. I mean, sweeping. Right. Then again, all you got to do is go out there, hit, pitch, win.
I like it.
It's simple. Run the bases.
Yeah. No, you're right. So what else? You've been drinking a lot of caffeine this morning?
No, I've only had one little Diet Pepsi. By the way, let me ask you, Tom. You a Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi guy?
Diet Pepsi. Diet Wild Cherry Pepsi.
I drink Diet Coke when it's the only thing available, but to me that Diet Pepsi is so much sweeter, even though it's not the Pepsi.
0 sugar, baby. It tastes really good too. Oh, there you go. You got your Diet Pepsi. I do like Coca-Cola, though. I like Coca-Cola more than Pepsi, but I like the diet products, Pepsi, more than Coke.
I think the biggest problem I have with the diet, like if you go to a restaurant, the Diet Coke just seems watered down and doesn't have the taste, where the Diet Pepsi is usually pretty good. So
indeed.
I want to play now. I got to tell you a little story and tell me if I'm way off base on this. We've been waiting in Buffalo for a Chipotle. We're all excited. It opened. Right? Now they have been swamped. Every time you go in, it's packed. But is it ever excusable to have food on the floor, debris on the floor, and so much crap on the counter that when they make a burrito and put it in tinfoil, it's rolling in sour cream. Tinfoil. No. That is never acceptable. And I'm going to take a break from going there because the last couple of times it's been like that, and you are getting overwhelmed with business. How about ordering a few more veggies? They ran out, and here's what bugged me about that. I'm on my little tirade about it because people right here, they didn't have any veggies on the regular line, but they have a line in the back where they do online orders. And I get my thing, and I notice a woman's putting some veggies in somebody's plate. It goes, "Hey, can I have some of those veggies?" "Oh no, these are for online orders." I said, "Well, I have an order here." She goes, "Well, they prepaid." I said, "I just paid." Come on.
That's no excuse at all. She should not have said that to you.
No, it's like the prepaid orders are more important. But I'm I just hope that whoever the manager is, who, by the way, his job should be on the line for running a filthy place.
I agree.
No, I mean, Tommy, you've been involved in restaurants. If you walked in and there was food on the floor, the garbage cans overflowing, there's never an excuse for that.
There's not an excuse. You're 100% right about that.
And maybe I wouldn't be so upset if they hadn't run out of veggies.
Just calling for the head of this Chipotle manager.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I mean, okay, Tevin, if you were, you being in a pigsty in your studio is not as big a deal. You're dealing with food.
No, you're 100% right. Like at the end of the day, no matter how busy it is, like you got to try and keep things clean and orderly because otherwise nobody's coming back to your restaurant to eat if it's all dirty and nasty. But I just love your enthusiasm.
They are packed because, hey, I love Chipotle. If I didn't love the thing, I wouldn't have gone or been going. But I'm taking a break. I'm going to Burrito. But by the way, have you had there?
You're talking about the one in Minnetonka or St. Louis Park?
The one I go to is the one in Monticello. My God, it's like they're making you a baby. That thing is huge. And Tom, have you ever had a burrito?
No.
Okay. They take the little dough ball, press it in front of you down. It's not like it's already pressed out and been sitting in a bag. It's made fresh. It is phenomenal.
Yep. And
what a whirl. And
they do breakfast burritos on Saturdays and Sundays.
No.
There's one on Texas and Minnetonka Avenue in St. Louis Park.
Yep.
10 out of 10. Tell them Tevin sent you. They're not going to give you anything for free, but
I will say though, I do like the bowl at Chipotle better. And I was even encouraging them to pick up some veggies from the floor and throw them in. I wanted them so bad. But the best thing at Burrito is the burrito. The bowls are just they're not as good for some reason.
Just to be clear, it's called burrito. Like
Burritos, B-R-I-T-O, Burritos Burrito.
Burrito. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it doesn't hold a candle. The Chipotle when it comes to that burrito. I mean, we're talking this big. Am I exaggerating, Tevin?
No, it is 2 meals in one. It'll change your life.
Well, it's one meal for some of us.
Well,
and by the way, Tom, that pizza ain't pizza. You know,
here we go.
It's like that is basically a dessert. You put caramel on, it's I would not call like a Zeppola, which you're familiar with, right? With where you put the powdered sugar on. That's not a meal. That's not food. That's dessert.
It's dessert. Okay. Well, that's fine. Well,
I'd love to try it though.
It was really good on the crust. I will tell you that. It was good across the board because it's not over the top or anything. It's not thick.
So how do you deal with your sticky hands? They give you
you get sticky hands from it if you don't watch out. You would get very sticky hands. They get a little handkerchief or something. You're good to go. Not a problem.
Well, it is. It's tantalizing. I might actually eat crust to try some of that.
Oh, I'm telling you, you would like it with the caramel on the crust. It's delicious.
They don't put caramel with the cheese. They don't mix that in, do they?
No, they put it on top of the pepperoni.
Really?
It's really good.
And that's at the Renaissance. I thought it's the Renaissance Festival time already. That's sort of a fall thing. That's how I think. Although
we're getting close to fall, Pally. It's the 9th today, something like that.
Tell you what, it felt like we were in October yesterday.
This morning it felt like we were in October again because it was a 52 when I got here. It's like, holy God.
Yeah, summer's dead. It's gone. It's over. Rest in peace.
True. All right, Bob, I'm heading over to Greedy Burrito or whatever it's called.
Burrito.
Oh, it's not Greedy Burrito.
No,
that wouldn't be a good name. You're right. No, Greedy Burrito.
Probably not.
Any closing words? Vikings going to win tomorrow?
Do you care? Actually, what I want to see is I hope we do see Darnold and JJ. He didn't rule one of them out, right? They're both going to play.
It sounds like Darnold's going to start, but then it's going to be a pretty heavy workload for JJ McCarthy. So we're going to see him.
Because
oh, really? Good.
You never see a preseason game, first preseason game, where the two quarterbacks, your two best quarterbacks, get to play. So that actually would be worth seeing. Of course, they'll be throwing the guys that'll be hopefully cleaning the floors at Chipotle in a few weeks because they won't have jobs in the NFL.
Oh, that's cold.
I got a job for them.
Yeah, you do. No question. All right.
I'm going to start a GoFundMe for this Chipotle to hire somebody to clean up.
You get them to do it. It's a good plan. It's a good call, pal.
All right.
All right, Pally. We'll talk to you next week.
I live for those moments. See you later.
Bob Sansevere, BS, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a break. Be right back. More BS from Tim. Get it? Tim Lammers. Tim Lammers coming up next. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Timmy Lammers, brought to you by Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury lawyer seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw & Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Boy, somebody's got some loud headphones on.
Would that be me?
Nope.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Try it again, too.
Try talking again, Tim.
I said, would that be me?
Okay, I think it's better now.
Okay.
The mic's really loud.
Yeah, I did. Thank you. Oh, Jesus. What's this button for?
Yeah, see, there you go.
You know what? It could have been a cat, though. You know, cats.
No,
like,
it was your mic was really loud.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. It was.
Sandy's was too, though, so it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, but Sandy talks like this all the time.
Hey, Tom, how you doing, Tom? Yeah, you're right. He does.
I love Sandy. I'm just ribbing him. Sounds like, you know what, though? It sounded like I've been to this burrito place that he's talking about. Yeah. Kind of got me thinking breakfast burrito now, man.
Oh, God.
Don't be doing that to me.
Plenty good, no question. I tell you what, Timmy, I want to thank you because you teed us up. Giovanni Ribisi is going to be on Wednesday. We're looking forward to that.
Awesome.
Great,
man. Oh, he's so good. And he's, the interesting thing about this movie he's got coming up, it's called Strange Darling, is he is a producer on it, but he's also the cinematographer.
Ooh.
And, it is so interesting to see a guy, most of the actors, they just want to direct, right? But it's like this guy whose mom is a photographer said, you know what, that's been fascinating me since I was a kid, and finally he's taking the opportunity to do this. And I will say, I can't talk about the movie yet, but there's some unique stuff going on with that camera. I mean, the guy is gifted. There's no
really.
about that. Yeah. So, yeah. I hope they send you the link because you really should catch the movie beforehand. It's a wild movie. It's
Really?
Strange Darlings. Yes. Yes. So
where's it coming? It's coming in theaters, television.
Yeah, on the 23rd.
Okay.
But I know they've been CCing me on the emails, but yeah, ask for the link, the viewing link, because it is really, really something else. That's all I can tell you, man. So good. I'm so glad that worked out. Fantastic. So, like I said, I can't talk about the movie, but it's a lot better than the movie I'm talking about today.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Now, look, I'm not a video game guy. It's helpful to bring my video game children, playing children, to these movies because it helps me out greatly. I coaxed my son Quinn, who you met before, Tom, to Borderlands. And he said, again, it's like I try to curtail the swearing because I don't want to get used to it. But beforehand, he says, I don't know if I want to see it. It sounds like dog shit.
Well, he was direct anyway.
After we get out of the movie, he said, that was dog shit.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Well, look, man, I mean, video game adaptations just do not work. They just don't.
No.
I don't know why that is, with the exception of Fallout. Fallout was spectacular. And I think the reason, and Tom, there you go. You watched it. A non-video game guy like me, although Quinn did, kind of coach me on what Fallout was about before I'd seen it. So, I had a good idea of the stuff to look for going in. Still no expert by any means. But, they fleshed out the characters over 8 episodes. They had time for the story to breathe. Well, I think now more than ever, because of the Fallout experience, I've learned that when you try to cram something in a 2-hour frame, a video game, yeah, you can get all the characters in there and all that sort of stuff, and you can get all the visual references and all that sort of stuff. But what you get, the time you have left is just time for spectacle and not substance. It's kind of like action sequence, visual action, so on and so forth, where it just is kind of dull and uninspiring especially after you see a movie like Fallout. I mean, a show like Fallout, it just doesn't work. And what's really too bad is the fact that uber talented cast. I mean, Kate Blanchett. Can you get any better than Kate Blanchett? And that's why my hopes were high for this. And yes, I think she is one of the few sparks in it. She's a kick-ass bounty hunter. It's a different role for her. She's done sci-fi before. She was in a Thor movie. And she's good. She's capable. She's capable in anything. So she's a spark. But then you get guys like Kevin Hart, I love Kevin Hart. And I think he's really funny. And we put him in a role where they don't even try to make him funny. It's just that they don't take advantage of his talents as a comedian. So I don't get that. Instead, what we get, and again, this is another guy I like, you get the voice of Jack Black as this robot claptrap.
Right, yeah.
And he just kind of comes off as annoying. He's just that annoying character who tries to be funny, and and it's like, oh my God.
Really?
I mean, I generally don't look to other, reviews to see I don't care about anybody else's opinion because, again, the opinion should be of the audience member that wants to see it. That's what matters the most. But when this movie is universally slammed by everybody, it's kind of like, all right, are they on to something? And I went to see it. And oddly enough, it didn't screen here. Oh, that's a shock. What does that tell you when they don't screen a movie ahead of time for critics?
Yeah.
Some people did see it. And the word was coming out early that, as my son says, dog shit.
There you go.
I don't know if it's complete. I don't know if it's, early on that Rotten Tomatoes site, early reviews after 10, it was like 0%.
Oh, whoa.
It's since risen to 6%.
Ooh, way up there.
Yeah, way up there. It might be the worst reviewed movie of the year. I wouldn't go that far. I would say 3 out of 10. I mean, that's pretty low on the Lamometer. That's the Lammer Hammer, but I don't know. I mean, these movies are such an incredible, amount of time and resource and, talent. Nobody aims to make a bad movie. It's just sometimes it's out of your control. I mean, everything looks good on the page. You wonder, why does somebody like Cate Blanchett sign on to a project like this? Well, because it looks good on the page. Eli Roth co-wrote it. He wrote the story and directed it. I mean, a good filmmaker. It just sometimes things they just don't come together. And it's unfortunately the case here. I would never give a film 0 stars. I would never do that, because again, you got so many people involved with this thing. That's doing a disservice to them. They're trying. Nobody's aiming to make a bad movie. It's just, in this case, it's a bad movie.
Well, there you have. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Well, not see Borderlands again. I probably will see Fallout again. Fallout's a great show. And seeing movies like this reminds you that, yeah, indeed, this can work,
If Walton Goggins is in it, I'll watch it.
Walton Goggins nominated, and I thought it was a supporting role because it's really an ensemble sort of piece.
Yeah, yep.
He was nominated for lead actor in a drama series, because it's kind of weird with the Emmys, their categories, they don't have sci-fi or whatever, so they got to stick the sci-fi stuff in the drama. So when they break into that category, man, that's pretty impressive. And the show is nominated as well, and it should be. It's good.
It is really good, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, Goggins is terrific, and it's really tough, man, because there are a lot of great people in the race. And I talked with one of them yesterday. Have you seen any of Shogun yet?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Hiroyuki Sanada. I interviewed him yesterday, and oh my God, he is incredible in Shogun. And
that's a good show too. That's a really
good my God, yeah. So it's a really tough race this year, and just so many spectacular performances. And again, I'm glad you mentioned Walton Goggins, because I can't say enough about the guy. I mean, he talked about a guy, and Sanada too. Hiro Sanada has been around a long time, and these guys have paid their dues, and it's finally great to see that they're getting their just due, that they're getting the recognition that they deserve.
You are correct, sir. Another brilliant report today, Timmy.
Thank you so much. Have a terrific weekend. Hopefully you can get out and get one of them there burritos.
Get a burrito going,
yeah. And if I don't talk with you before next week, good luck with Giovanni.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be, Will Schmooze. Giovanni Ribisi.
No, he's in 10th and Wolf, right? In the movie you love? Oh, I know that's going to come up.
Oh, that might come up. One of my favorite movies of all time. And I think it made like $50,000 when it was in the movie theaters.
Oh, really?
I don't think it made any money. Maybe we could look that up. It didn't make any money in the theaters at all. Great cast.
I worked with James Marsden's publicist over the years too, so I'll have to get him. Maybe get him and Gio together on the show at once sometime.
Yeah, there you go.
10th and Wolf.
Just to talk about 10th and Wolf. Great movie. Great.
It made $143K.
That's all it made.
Yeah.
It is a really good movie.
54,000 in the US, and then 143 worldwide.
So it was 54,000 in the US. I thought so.
Well, sometimes the whole deal with these movies is there's a commitment for theatrical, and they'll put them in theaters limited for a week, and that's it. And they go away. And now with streaming, thankfully, we can get movies like that back.
Yeah, that's very
Otherwise, movies like that just disappear, which is too bad.
All right, Timmy, talk to you next week, Pally.
All right, have a great weekend, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Timmy Lammer is brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. That's MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. The lovely, talented genius of all media, Kristen Bird, is up next.
I've been tracking the weather in Minnesota for a long time. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow. And in the morning, I've got to be right, because my forecast affects your family's entire day. And in the evening, you can count on my friend, Rant.
That's right, Ken. I'm 5 Eyewitness News evening meteorologist Ren Claire. And as a Minnesotan,
I know our weather can be tricky. Throughout the day and into the night, I've got you covered with an accurate forecast to help keep your family safe and ready for any weather.
And don't forget, no matter how things change or what time of day, you'll always get our forecast first at the start of every newscast on 5 Eyewitness News. Start your day with me, Ken Barlow.
And wrap up your day with me, Ren Claire.
Because 5 Eyewitness News is always tracking our weather, so you're always alerted first. It's why 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast. And I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Oh, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. You want to talk about movies, TV, or burritos like Bob and Tim Lammers both did?
Ooh, I don't eat burritos.
See?
I eat like a taco, nacho.
So it's not a meat thing. You just don't like burritos.
I just think burritos they're just too much food.
You're big. They are big, no doubt.
I'm like, I love Mexican food. We are spoiled here in California with delicious Mexican food, but a burrito is probably the last thing I would order.
Well, Tevin just told me no Mexicans live in California. Is that true?
That is not true.
I must have gotten some bad.
I'm like, that is.
No, Mexican food is wonderful.
Oh, we are so spoiled here. And, the food trucks or like we oftentimes have like little food stands along our sidewalks.
Sure. Yep.
Those are the best places to get real, authentic, delicious Mexican food.
The good chow. Minnesota, when I was a kid, because you guys wouldn't remember this, when I was a kid, the restaurants in Minnesota, there were like 3 restaurants in the entire state that were any good. The restaurants were terrible here when I was a kid, but now they're just phenomenal. They're really, really good. Probably the best of all time in this state anyway. Not probably, it definitely is the best of all time. Really good. And across
the
food
board. Scene wasn't good when I lived there. And that was 2002 to 2004.
Yeah, I mean, you had a couple of good steakhouses, and that was about it. But now there are great sushi restaurants, Chinese restaurants, there's Italian restaurants. It's really, really good now. So I'm glad to hear that you agree with me that it used to suck.
It was terrible. And it was hard for me, honestly, coming from I went from New York to LA to Minneapolis. And coming from 2 cities with huge food scenes, It was a struggle to eat because there's only so much red meat one can eat. And
that was what it was. Yep.
Yeah. And I was like, where does everyone go to eat? And they're like, this steakhouse, or like, we just go to Chili's or whatever the Applebee's. Applebee's was the big thing everyone in the area went to. And I was like, what? And I just was so used to so many mom and pop restaurants of all different types of food. And of course I did discover some good places eventually, but
yeah,
you had to really go and hunt them down or ask someone who was a foodie, like, where can I go to eat?
Yeah, the Italian food in this town used to be horrendous, and now it's really good.
That's good.
Most definitely.
City needs a good food scene.
It does indeed. So what are you up to?
What am I up to? Do you want to talk Disney or do you want to talk Gary Coleman?
What about Gary Coleman? I don't know anything about this.
Well, Peacock is doing a 90-minute documentary on his death and his life and death, I should say. It's coming out August 29th. I didn't realize it's been, are you ready for this? 14 years since he died.
What?
He died in 2010.
Really?
Yes. He died at the age of 42. There's so many details I forgot. And I guess there's accusations that, and I didn't remember this either, but he fell down the stairs and had a head injury. That's how he passed away. There are accusations that his ex-wife was the one who pushed him. And she's in the documentary and she's like, of course you're going to blame me, because they had a very tumultuous marriage and everything else like that. So, so I guess she's on there defending, but it also goes through the fact, his parents spent all of his money. I don't know if people remember that.
Gee, what a shock. Whoever heard of that?
Well, yeah. And I mean, because they became his managers, and there is the Coogan accounts that child actors have. I don't know if everyone knows that, but a percentage of your acting income goes into a fund that you can't touch until you're an adult. However, and I believe that's about 15%. However, the other 85% goes to managers, whatever parents see fit. And that's where you have to watch out for certain parents who just dip into the cookie jar all the time. And I don't know if it's as common now as it used to be, but parents used to establish themselves as their kid's manager, because oftentimes one parent would have to quit their job in order to watch their kid on set.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, we're not making an income, so I'm going to take an income from my kid. And if you're not establishing very clear boundaries and things like that, the finances can get very sloppy quickly.
And it's so sad. No question. And I'm very proud of 4 people. Not one has said, what you talking about, Willis? Not one of you.
Todd Bridges is in it. Todd Bridges also from Different Strokes is in it.
Right.
Yeah. It looks like a really good documentary. So it comes out August 29th. I feel like this is going to be one of those documentaries that a lot of people have some opinions on, because he was at the time probably the most popular child actor on TV when Different Strokes was on the air. Johnny Carson used to have him all the time on his show. And I think people also forget all of his kidney troubles. Like, he was struggling in a lot of pain, and he had to work through all of that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why he was small. It had stunted his growth.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he had dialysis, and I believe he had a kidney transplant at one point, and, he had rejections of the kidney. So I think it could be kind of a compelling story, and that'll be on Peacock coming August 29th.
I'm really happy about something after you reported this. We have one staircase in our house, and it's spiral. So Catherine couldn't push me down the stairs. I love that.
She could push you over the stairs.
Yeah, over the stairs, all the way down.
Stairs.
One plummet.
Did you ever interview Gary during the height of his fame?
Yeah. Oh, God. Back in the old days on KQ. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a very nice guy, actually.
He was. And I had one. It's so funny. I had dated a guy, and this is back in after his fame. So this is probably the late 90s. And I was dating a guy who lived here in LA, and I was living in New York. And I came out to visit. We went to, this sounds so LA, George Hamilton's cigar bar.
Oh, God.
At the time, that was the hot place to go in Beverly Hills, which sounds hilarious now just talking about it. And we were sitting at a table, having a martini or something. And Gary Coleman came up to us and started rolling dice because he wanted to gamble. Yeah.
Oh.
He wanted to gamble. And we were like, no. And he's like,
No.
and took off in a huff with his dice. And that is my Gary Coleman encounter.
Oh, my God. Was George Hamilton as handsome in person as he was on screen?
He's handsome but leathery. That
okay,
old school 70s. I tanned so much. I didn't use I used baby oil, no sunblock.
Right.
And if he probably hadn't done all of that tanning out in the sun, he probably would have been even more handsome.
Yeah, I understand that.
Because it was so leathery.
I have never been a tanning guy. It's I have no interest in laying around in the sun.
Seen me?
You have a glow. You have a certain glow.
That's makeup. This is my real. If I show my legs too, my legs have not seen the sun in probably 20 years. They are like blinding. And I was once on set and had taken photos, and I was showing a friend. She goes, "Are you wearing white tights?" I'm like, "No, that is my skin."
I love that.
Like, I'm not wearing white tights, but I get sun poisoning, so I can't go out in the sun.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. We were just talking to Timmy Lammers about a couple of movies that are coming out. Why is Hollywood having such a problem now with making a good movie? There are a couple, but not very many. What's with the movie making?
Well, it's a struggle in terms of like a lot of people just want to watch the movies now at home.
Yeah.
So they're just waiting for it to come out on streaming.
Yep.
I think we're doing well with animated films. It looks like Pixar is finally back now that Inside Out 2 really did well. I think Moana 2 is going to do really well. I think some of those type of Disney movies will do fine. And then you have the big movies, but not all the big movies are doing well. So you really have to have like a guaranteed property. Deadpool versus Wolverine, perfect. Deadpool and Wolverine was a guaranteed hit no matter what, because you have two charming stars. You have Hugh and you've got Ryan Reynolds, and you know that they're going to promote the heck out of it. But when it comes to the other things, I think people are just saving their dollars. And this kind of, I'll throw this in too. Like Disney just did their quarterly report, and they're saying people are not going to the parks. And the parks have buoyed Disney stock for years.
Oh, God,
and
yeah.
now that they're starting to see a decline in people going to Disney World and Disneyland, that's telling you that people have no money, that they are struggling right now.
Yep.
And that's the icing on the cake. And for a family of 4, even just to go to one day at Disneyland, you're looking at over $1,000. If you want to do California Adventure and Disneyland, and you want to buy all the extras and parking and maybe a souvenir for your kid, it is so expensive. And it's just not affordable, when even just 10 years ago, a lot of Southern California have the annual pass, which I think is now the Disney Key or whatever it is. That has gone up so much in price that it's not even worth it for many people to have that anymore. There's too many blackout days, and what's the point?
I had another listener to the show tell me, because Catherine and I went through this a few months ago, wasn't here in town, but went out to dinner with 3 friends, had wine, but it was not expensive wine. It wasn't over the top expensive wine. And the dinner was $1,000 for the 4 of them. How are people going to ever make enough money to cover that kind of cost? You got to have some big dough to pay that much for a dinner.
I was even thinking about it. I went out to dinner with a friend just the other night. We had 2 appetizers, split an entree, no dessert, and 2 glasses of wine, both like $15. And we got the bill, and it was like $170. I was like, okay, we split an entree. We didn't even order 2 entrees. And, it's just one of those things. It is very expensive, and people are being very discerning of where they're spending their dollars. And Disney has started to realize that. They're offering a ton of discounts for us here to go to Disneyland that they never usually offer.
See, with a tip, you just paid $220 for that.
That's right.
And
it was delicious. But let me tell you, it was not one of those meals where you're like, oh, I'm going home with leftovers. It was one of those farm to table places. You're just getting a little bit of everything. And it was a lot of money.
It is a lot of dough. So are we ever going to recover from this and stop spending so damn much money or charging so much money?
Well, I think that you're starting to see that. I know Target has had to start reducing their prices, CVS, because people are freaking out, and they're not spending the money that they used to, and it's affecting their bottom line. And the grocery prices, those were all, I mean, the pandemic was one thing, but then all of a sudden escalating it, and saying, oh, sorry, we have to raise all these prices, inflation, when it really is just greedy corporations.
Right. No, it is. And greed is a big, I announced this morning now that I have no interest in talking about politics or looking at politics anymore, because to me, it's all greed on all sides. It's just money, money, money. It's all that matters anymore.
Yeah. And who's hurting? It's the average American who's hurting at the end of the day. And so every sector is going to have to address this, whether it's, retail or Hollywood, amusement parks, like that type of entertainment, they all have to address it because you are going to otherwise see your properties tank. And if you want people to still go to the theater, whether it's live theater or a movie, you got to figure something out.
No question about it. Another brilliant report, sister.
Thank you. You said that to Tim too.
I know, but he did have another brilliant report.
Well, you did. I know, but I was like, oh, everyone gets that line.
You know what, Scott? I am in such a good mood because I decided last night I've had enough of politics. I want to pay no attention to it. I am a much happier person because I don't have to listen to any of their BS.
That sounds delightful.
It is.
That really sounds delightful.
Honest to God, all of them. It's like, first of all, have you ever heard me? You've known me for how many years now?
12.
12 years. Have you ever heard me once blast another morning show guy in the market or Howard Stern, anybody like that? No, I don't do that kind of thing. These guys are disgusting. This guy's a weirdo. Well, you're a draft dodger and you're like, would you settle down? I'm much better mood. That's all I have to say.
Well, that's good. Being in a happy mood is, and we got 3 months to the election, so there's no point in wasting emotional energy.
No.
On people that don't care about us.
Well, that's exactly right. You're absolutely right.
It is true.
We care to hear from you on Monday. That's what we care about.
Excellent. And I will be here with bells on.
All right. Thank you very much.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
You too, Kristen. Kristen Burt, ladies and gentlemen, entertainment news brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Show you what a great mood I'm in. I will now announce the fact that I'll be back in 10 minutes with the show. And these other two guys are going to go home and sit on their ass all day and do nothing.
Sounds like a great day.
Yep.
They don't even argue the point. Talk to you later, man.
Yeah, have a good weekend.
You too.